Come on in, come on in, come on in, come on in. So today we're going to be understanding the essential minerals that play a role in regulating your blood pressure. Because when it comes down to high blood pressure, minerals like potassium, magnesium, calcium, sodium, and zinc, as well as a few others, all play a critical role to help regulate this process. And in this live video, we're going to help you understand how to improve your mineral storages to help get to the root cause of your blood pressure issues. I'm going to reveal to you guys one of my favorite strategies to help people understand and improve their mineral deficiency to correct their blood pressure issues. And the name of this strategy is what's called a raw until 4 strategy. Raw until 4. Raw. R-A-W until 4. And we're going to talk about the details of the strategy and help you understand how it works to get to the root cause of your blood pressure issues through the utilization of raw foods. So to begin with, most blood pressure issues are caused by a mineral deficiency. Most of them, not all of them, but most of them. When it comes down to it, potassium and magnesium tends to be high on the list. Potassium deficiency and a magnesium deficiency. So understanding that you cannot correct your blood pressure issue if you're still dealing with a mineral deficiency, and it's your job to understand how to correct this. And utilizing a raw until 4 strategy will allow for you to gain ground and gain understanding of this deficiency to work towards improving it. Now let me give you the details of what this raw till 4 strategy is all about. So utilizing a raw until 4 strategy, this means basically from the time you wake up in the morning, whether it's 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, whatever time you rise, from the time you wake up in the morning until 4 o'clock in the afternoon, you're going to consume nothing but fresh, raw foods. From the time you wake up to 4 o'clock in the afternoon, raw foods only. And let me explain why. So with the blood pressure with the mineral deficiency causing your blood pressure issues, you want to make sure that you're consuming the right foods that are going to help you improve your nutritional storages. And the best selection of foods to consume are going to be raw foods. Raw foods in the form of fresh fruits, vegetables, nuts, and seeds. Those are going to be the best options. Reason being because they have the highest source of vitamins, minerals, and enzymes that your body needs. Once you start cooking any type of foods, they start to break down, and this destroys the nutritional storages. This destroys the nutritional content of the foods. So if you want to maximize you want to maximize your body's ability to absorb these vital nutrients to correct your blood pressure, you want to make sure that you're eating foods that are in its natural form. The fresh raw form. That's going to be the best version. And with the raw until 4 strategy, from the time you get up to 4 o'clock in the afternoon, nothing but raw foods are going to be part of this process. And what this does is, this allows for your body to have the highest quality, the highest version of vitamins and minerals and nutrients to actually use to rebuild your nutritional storages. Most people simply aren't eating enough fresh raw foods to begin with. They're not eating enough fruits. They're not eating enough vegetables. They're not eating enough leafy greens. They're not eating any nuts and seeds and those essential items. So understanding that a raw until 4 strategy, this creates a window for you to only consume those foods that are going to be beneficial for your blood pressure. And the best part about this raw until 4 strategy is this. This isn't a restrictive diet, or this isn't something that limits you or constrains you from eating certain foods. No, this just puts a bracket on what's important. So from 8 o'clock in the morning to 4 o'clock in the afternoon, you're only eating raw. This doesn't mean that you can't have certain things. No, this means right now you're focusing on fresh raw foods. You wake up in the morning, fresh bowl of fresh fruits, and just having some fresh fruits, maybe if you want a smoothie or something of that nature, fresh fruits to start your day. blueberries, strawberries, raspberries, blackberries, if you want a mango, if you want a banana, whatever they have. Fresh fruits, that's going to be your raw breakfast. And this is going to give you the potassium, the magnesium, the calcium, the antioxidants, all those essentials that are going to help you with your blood pressure. And as you progress through the day, lunchtime comes about, you can add in a nice large salad. You can add in some more fresh fruit, some nuts and seeds. 12 o'clock, midday, 11, whatever time your lunch is, having more fresh raw foods. Another large salad, nuts and seeds, maybe, any type of raw item that you prefer. Just have a combination of them, because all of these items are going to provide you with an assortment of different vitamins, minerals, enzymes, and things that your body needs as a whole. So understanding that when you're dealing with these blood pressure issues, you have to specifically target those deficiencies that may be present. And you might not necessarily know if you have a potassium deficiency or a magnesium deficiency or whatever type of deficiency. You might not know, and that's fine. But as long as you're eating the foods that are beneficial for these issues that you're dealing with, you're going to see how your body improves. You're going to see how your body responds. But you have to be willing to put forth the effort. And the raw until forced strategy is one of the best strategies that you can apply. Again, it's not restrictive. This allows for you to focus on the ideal foods to help you move forward through this process. And as you progress on this journey, you will see the comfort levels improve. As you start this journey, you're going to see where you get comfortable with making your choices for your breakfast, how you break your fast, whether you rely on just having fresh fruits, or even if you forego the breaking your fast with breakfast and just continue to fast, you're going to see how your body responds. Because most individuals, we probably end up eating, the eggs, the bacon, the sausages, or, the other processed foods first thing in the morning. But if we're dealing with blood pressure issues, we have to understand that these foods don't mean us any good. We have to make the adjustments. And a raw until forward diet, it allows you to optimize your nutritional storages with the right types of food. And when it comes down to those minerals like the potassium, the magnesium, the calcium, the sodium, the antioxidants, these foods all bring balance to the body, because many people try to isolate nutrients to build up these nutritional storages. Many people say, okay, I got a potassium deficiency, I'm going to take some potassium supplements. Or I have a magnesium deficiency, I'm going to take some magnesium glycinate, the magnesium pills, or what have you. And we have to understand that taking supplements or taking pills is not the same as eating the foods. The supplements and the pills are designed around the same way that these foods actually work. So we have to understand, taking a pill isolates a nutrient. You're getting a synthetic form of potassium and magnesium that's isolated. And the thing about it is that you may see some type of improvement in your blood pressure. Now, that's right. That's typically what happens. But you have to understand it's not going to help you fix the issue and get to the root cause, because that potassium supplement or that magnesium supplement, it's lacking the fiber, it's lacking the water, it's lacking the vitamins, the other vitamins and minerals and essential nutrients that your body needs to properly assimilate it. Whereas if you eat a fresh bowl of strawberries or blueberries or fresh fruits or some leafy greens, you're going to get the potassium, you're going to get the magnesium alongside it, you're going to get the antioxidants, the fiber, the water, all those essentials that helps your body as a whole. And we have to understand that when it comes down to health and specifically high blood pressure, you cannot isolate nutrients. You cannot isolate this condition and say, oh, I'm going to take this supplement to improve my health. It doesn't work like that. High blood pressure is a lifestyle disease. You have to focus on your body as a whole, and eating more whole foods is going to optimize your overall health instead of just trying to isolate a particular nutrient to increase those storages. And one thing about these nutrients is that they don't necessarily work as well as most people have been led to believe. Sometimes you got to take a potassium supplement or a magnesium supplement for 2 and 3 months just to see small incremental improvements. Whereas if you eat fresh whole foods for 2 and 3 days, you'll see your digestion get better. You'll see your mental clarity get better. You'll start to see your energy levels get better. You'll see things start to change in 2-3 days, pretty much almost instantly, from allowing the body to have the things that it needs. And when you take this strategy, the raw until full strategy, you maximize your nutritional storages. This short window of time allows for you to maximize the nutrients that you're consuming. You optimize this particular strategy, you continue grounding and pounding it and applying it to your lifestyle, you will see results because you're giving your body the tools, the building blocks that it needs. You have to provide your body with the resources for it to correct these issues. And one of the most important things about the raw until full diet is this as well. You cannot make this type of adjustment and think you're still going to be able to do everything else or eat all the other things that you know you have no business doing. Because understanding that if you go and consume fresh raw foods from the time you wake up to 4 o'clock in the afternoon, you're optimizing your nutritional storages. But when you break your raw to four diet and you start to consume the processed foods, the fast foods, the fried foods, and those things like that, this is going to cancel out all the good work that you just did all day. Because one thing about these fatty, greasy, sugary foods and things that we tend to consume, they take away from our nutritional storages. Your body has to excrete and eliminate a lot of magnesium and potassium just to utilize or break down and eliminate these other foods or products that you're consuming. So you're wasting away vital energy and vital nutrients when you continue to live and eat the things that are causing the problem. So the best way to optimize a raw until full strategy is by making sure that you're continuing to make dietary adjustments, living in a more health promoting manner, eliminating those problematic foods, and allowing your body to continue to move forward in the right direction. And the most beautiful thing is that it doesn't cost you anything to apply this type of strategy. It's a focus shift. It's a mindset shift to where you're not allowing yourself to be caught up in the rat race that's going on around us. Because a lot of times we find ourselves just so busy where we don't have time to grab something fresh for breakfast, and we have to stop and get fast food on the way or rely on a vending machine and those things like that. So shifting your mindset and understanding that, okay, I need to do something about my blood pressure issues. Let me focus on this type of strategy. This is a simple strategy that anybody can apply. The only person I would say that should not focus on a raw until full strategy is an individual that's dealing with chronic kidney disease, because a raw until full approach will help you increase your potassium levels. But if you're dealing with chronic kidney issues, that's something that you don't want to do. You want to have to take another approach, because high potassium levels can be very dangerous. And people with kidney issues, their body's not able to excrete the potassium the way that it needs to. But for everyone else that's dealing with essential blood pressure issues, this is a basic strategy that you just got to load up on some fresh fruits, some vegetables, prepare a meal, bag up some nuts and seeds and some dried fruits with you throughout the day. And from 8 o'clock in the morning to 4 o'clock in the afternoon, nothing but fresh raw foods. As much as you want to consume, there's no limit on how much you can eat. There's no limit on, or you have no discretion on what type of foods you want to eat. If you want to eat all watermelon, that's fine. If you want to do all oranges, that's fine. Those mono meals are fine. But finding something that you're comfortable with and something that you can be consistent with is going to allow for you to maximize your nutritional storages to get to the root cause of your blood pressure issues. And when you understand these types of strategies, this puts you back in control. And my high blood pressure cookbook is loaded with these types of strategies to help you understand what you can do. Because when it comes down to blood pressure issues, you can't take nothing for this. This is all about doing. This all requires action. You have to take action and understand what's fueling your problem. This is an individual issue. We all have different things that is triggering our blood pressure issues. We have to be able to isolate the problem and learn how to attack it strategically. Just shooting in your dark saying, I'm going to eat healthier. What does that mean? Eating healthy means something different to each and every one of us. So understanding what eating healthier looks like is important, but also understanding how to target your blood pressure issues and the challenges you are facing is twice as important, because you want to make sure that you understand the issue and you're doing something that directly moves you in that direction. And a raw until full approach is a basic strategy that almost anyone can apply to get results with their blood pressure. In my high blood pressure group, we have, I want to say, almost hundreds of individuals that have gone through this process for the last 3 years. And we're talking in 7 days, losing 10, I don't say 10, about in the week's time frame, I think we had individuals losing anywhere between 7 and 10 pounds. In 2 weeks, 14 pounds, just by going a raw until full strategy, bringing the blood pressure down and seeing great results in 3 days. We're not talking months and weeks, 3-4 days. You will see changes, but you have to be willing to go through the process. You have to be willing to step back from the lifestyle that you're currently living and say, man, I need to make some adjustments. Let me find out where to start. Let me try this raw until full strategy and see how this works for me. Because if you don't start doing, you're not going to get the results that you want. Most people want to be this healthy person and be a better version of themselves, but you got to do the work. You got to be willing to do what's required to be there. You want to be off of blood pressure medication. You want to lose 10, 20 pounds. That's great. You can want all this stuff for yourself, but it's not going to come until you do the work to get you there. And that's what understanding what lifestyle changes are all about. It's all about doing. Once you start doing, then you start becoming the type of person that develop those healthy habits that allow for you to correct those blood pressure issues, to lose the weight that stubborn belly fat that you're holding on to, and continue to progress in your health. Because blood pressure issues are all about improving your overall health. It's not just about your weight. It's not just about, your stress levels and things like that. No, your overall health needs to improve. And that's how you correct your blood pressure issues. It sounds so simple. It almost sounds like, it's too easy to be true. But this is what it's all about. Just simply doing and becoming a healthier version of yourself. Understanding the strategies that are aligned to help you through this process is important, because if you're shooting in the dark, it will be difficult. Just walking and moseying along and trying this and trying that, that's hard in any aspect. You try to open up a business and you don't have a plan and don't have anything to follow, you're going to be wandering around and just aimlessly. Same thing with health and wellness and just taking care of yourself. If you're not following the routine and you don't create, or don't apply different tactics and strategies, you're going to be wandering around aimlessly, wondering why you lose 5 pounds and gain it right back. Wonder why your blood pressure comes down 10 points and it comes right back up. You don't want to be on the yo-yo ride. You want to be on a sustainable journey where you see the gradual progression, seeing your blood pressure coming down, your energy levels coming up, and your overall vitality being the highest it's ever been. And this is what lifestyle changes can do for you. And you have to just understand what these strategies look like. The best thing, again, just to round it up for you guys again, raw until full. And I'm going to give you a basic layout of it one more time. So a raw until full strategy is all about from the time you wake up until 4 o'clock in the afternoon. From the time you wake up to 4 o'clock in the afternoon, consuming nothing but fresh raw foods in the form of fresh fruits, fresh vegetables, fresh nuts and seeds. Simple as that. Whatever fruits you like, whether it's blueberries, strawberries, mangoes, kiwis, apples, oranges, whatever you like. Try to have at least 3 to 5 servings between that time frame. When it comes down to your leafy greens, have one large salad during that time frame. That salad should consist of a mixture of your leafy greens. My preferred version would be the Swiss chard, the arugula, kale, beet greens, all just mixed up inside of a bowl. And when it comes down to the toppings on your salad, whatever toppings float your boat. You like peppers? Cool. You like radishes? Cool. Whatever raw toppings you like, put them on top of it. Try to refrain from any grains, any croutons, or any added proteins, or anything that's not raw. You want to have fresh raw. That way you can maximize your body's nutrient storages and allow for your body to assimilate these different vitamins, minerals, and enzymes to correct your blood pressure issues. from 8 o'clock to 4 o'clock. Now, when it comes down to that raw selection, you want to make sure that there's no added salts to any of the nuts that you're consuming. Be mindful of any dried fruits that you may be having that might have some added sugar on it. Just fresh, raw, in their natural state. Nothing added. That way you don't have to compromise your strategy just because you didn't read a package with some stuff on it. So as raw in its natural state is going to be the best way. And from 8 o'clock to 4 o'clock, this window is going to allow for you to maximize it. Now, when 4 o'clock comes and you decide to have your hot cooked meal, now just be mindful of what you're consuming. Because during this process, when you decrease your salt levels, decrease your oil consumption and your sugar consumption, this is going to allow for your body to assimilate these things at a higher rate. So understanding that raw to 4, that's your main focus. As you start this strategy, you will start to see how your body responds, and this will allow you to make more adjustments as you progress. But anyone can do this type of strategy by just simply giving it a try and dialing in. And if you're dealing with these kidney issues and potassium issues, if you're dealing with kidney issues, this type of strategy is something that you want to avoid. It's mainly for those individuals that are dealing with essential blood pressure issues that haven't evolved into chronic kidney disease and other further complications. So all raw from 8 o'clock to 4 o'clock. Simple as that. No cooking, no nothing else. It's just easy. Grab it fresh, raw, make your salad, pack it up to go, bring some fresh fruits, nuts and seeds with you to snack on. By the time 4 o'clock comes, boom, the first part of the day is done. Now from 4 o'clock till dinner time, you can have your cooked foods and continue through your day. It's not restrictive. You can eat as much as you like. You can eat a variety of the foods that you want and prefer, as long as it's fresh, as long as it's raw and unaltered with no added salts, oils, and sugars on it. It falls within the guidelines, and I can guarantee you that this is a guarantee, and a lot of stuff ain't guaranteed. I guarantee you, when you shift that focus, you will see improvement in your blood pressure, you'll see improvement in your energy levels, you'll see improvement in your digestion, you'll see improvement in your skin, you'll see improvement in a lot of different areas, and that's going to be your body expressing its vitality. And again, this is just a matter of doing something that's health promoting, that aligns with the things that your body needs. And when you start doing these things, your body goes to talking to you in a way that you probably haven't heard it speak to you in a long time. And it's going to promote you to continue to doing these things. And this is going to really help you in the long run. So I'm going to answer a couple questions that you guys might have. So feel free to drop it inside of the chat. And I'll answer a couple questions and just round this type of strategy off for you guys. So here we go. I'm going to start right here. What if you have insulin resistance and high blood pressure? Should we still eat the fruits first? This is where you want to understand the type of fruits that are going to be more beneficial for you. And this is where your blueberries, your strawberries, your raspberries, your blackberries, your cherries, those are going to be the most beneficial for you. Those are going to be the ones that are lower in sugar, lower on the glycemic index, but still very nutrient dense to give you the potassium, the magnesium, the calcium, the zinc, the antioxidants, and all those things that are essential. So if you're worried about your blood sugar levels during the raw to 4, fresh fruits in the form of berries are going to be the best options. That way you don't have to worry about your blood sugar, and you're still getting those essential nutrients that are going to be very beneficial. Because when it comes down to fresh fruits, they do contain the sugar, but they're packaged up the way that the body needs them. That way it doesn't spike, or it doesn't cause your sugar to spike, your blood sugar to spike. Because these fruits are packaged with the fiber, the water, the vitamins, the minerals, the enzymes, all those things. And when you digest them, the absorption process is slowed down. So instead of seeing a spike in your blood pressure, your blood sugar does a slow, gradual rise that allows for your body to utilize the sugars and not cause for that spike that impacts your blood sugar levels in the long term. So fresh berries are going to be the best options for those individuals that are applying this type of strategy, that are worried about their blood sugar levels. And just continue to document the journey and write down, your blood sugar numbers, write down your blood pressure, and you will start to see how things start to pan out. You may see your blood sugar levels start to come up the first day, And then what tends to happen for most individuals is that they start to eat the fresh berries and fresh fruit. The blood sugar level is going to rise. Anytime you eat anything, it's going to rise. And then you start to see it come back down. But the next time you do it, it's going to rise again, but it won't be as high because the fruits that you're eating are also providing those cells with the essential vitamins and minerals and nutrients and things that it needs to optimize how they function. And that's how you just continue through this whole process of gradually progressing and getting better. So hopefully that answers that question for you guys to get a better understanding. Not everyone has the ability to eat raw. IBS sufferer here. Raw is a nightmare, immediate pain. And yeah, that's true. Not everybody has the ability to eat raw and they suffer from issues like that. And that's why we have to understand that there are multiple other strategies that are out there. You have to understand what's going to work for you and what's going to help you and not cause you that type of discomfort due to other issues that you're dealing or you might be challenged with. And that's why in my books, the High Blood Pressure Cookbook and Breakdown, it has multiple other strategies that align with you trying to get to the root cause of the problem. Because again, everyone can't do the same thing. Everybody's not going to respond the same type of way. But having other strategies that you can apply, this is going to help you continue to move forward. So don't throw in the towel because, oh, I can't go raw because my IBS going to start tripping on me. Don't throw in the towel. Move to the next strategy and continue to move forward. There's dozens of things that you can do, but we have to understand what they are to help us get to the root cause. What do you think of bitters, natural drinks added to the diet? I'm not necessarily a fan of them. I don't see a problem with it, but I think sometimes we rely on them as a crutch to kind of help us on our journey. And again, I'm not knocking them in any type of way, but I just find it easier to subtract certain things and allow for the body to respond on its own instead of adding things that can be stimulating in other ways. Because when we add things that stimulate our body, it forces our body to respond to what we're doing. And that response can lower blood pressure, it can help in other areas, but how sustainable will it actually be? And my whole message is all about sustainability, being able to do something each and every day and get the same results no matter what. That's what sustainability is all about. When you do certain things and add supplements and bitters and all these things, it only takes you so far. And then your budget might only go so far. It's different things. So finding a way to be more sustainable is the main thing. I don't knock anything against any bitters and things like that. It's a personal preference, but preferably, I'd say just live your lifestyle in a health promoting way without adding things to the mix. Here we go. Any other questions? Feel free to drop them in, and we'll just keep going. What does the strategy look like? I went over it a couple of times. I go back over it one more time. So the raw until 4, again, from the time you wake up, fresh raw foods until 4 p.m., fresh raw foods. 8 o'clock to 4 o'clock, nothing but fresh raw foods. Fresh fruits, fresh vegetables, nuts and seeds, no added salts, oils, and sugars, nothing but just fresh raw foods in whatever form that you like, either in the whole form, in a nice large salad, or just snacking on nuts and seeds as you go. That's going to be the best option moving forward when it comes down to the raw until 4 strategy. Eating fruits, nuts and seeds, vegetables, mono until 4 p.m. Not sure what to eat after 4. So this is going to be the ideal approach after 4 o'clock. Because once you break the raw at 4, you want to make sure that you're moving in the right direction still. Now, I like to use this strategy specifically for individuals that are dealing with that stubborn blood pressure issue. They're taking multiple medications. This is the strategy that I like to use. No salts, no oils, no refined sugars whatsoever. No salts, no oils, no refined sugars. This opens up different pathways of elimination and allow for the body to continue to move in the right direction. For a lot of individuals, salt directly impacts their blood pressure. Not all, but a lot of them. So you want to close down this pathway. Oil is something that's been shown to damage the endothelium system or the cardiovascular system in many different ways in individuals. Eliminate the oil, especially if you're dealing with weight issues. When it comes down to processed sugars or refined sugars, they have no need in the diet whatsoever. All it does is take away from all the other benefits the other foods that you're eating are doing. So no salts, no oils, no sugars. That's going to push you in the right direction. And if you're dealing with multiple other issues, you want to start looking into reducing your consumption of animal-based products, because that's going to help open up other pathways of elimination. So moving forward after 4 p.m., no salts, no oils, no sugars, and a lot more of those whole foods is going to continue to keep moving forward in the right direction. After 4, what you eat, yeah, that's the same thing. I see a lot of those. I assume soup, salads, and plant-based. So yeah, that falls inside of into the after 4 category as well. And yeah, when it comes down to the raw to 4, no cooking. This makes it a whole lot easier. You don't have to cook or prepare anything, and you just focus on those fresh raw foods. That's all from the time you get up to 4 o'clock. Just fresh raw. Do you believe in the 1 meal a day fasting? I do believe in it. It's for me, it was a very great experience. I want to say about 2 years ago, I did it for about, I don't know, maybe like 2 months almost. It was a great experience. I was in a fasting season of trying different types of fasting, 1 meal a day, alternate day fasting, or water only fasting, extended fast. I was doing all different type of fasting. The 1 meal a day was very beneficial. One thing I would say about it is make sure that it aligns with what your goals are, because 1 meal a day isn't for everybody. It's really for the individual with specific goals that they're trying to obtain, and it works. Fasting works in many different forms. It really works. It's going to be very beneficial when it comes down to your blood pressure, your cholesterol, your overall health. It's going to have a direct impact and help you through this process. But just make sure that it's sustainable for you and it allows for you to reach the goals that you're trying to reach without any complications. Because for myself, it was great until I had to shift my workload at home and start doing more with the kids and preparing more food than I typically do. And it just kind of changed the dynamics, and I couldn't really keep up with that process. But I want to say during that cycle, I ended up losing like 14, 15 pounds. I really leaned up a little bit, and it was actually really fun to do. And what happened was after this is what's important. What happened after the 1 meal a day, I still sustained the weight loss, but I started to see once I shifted from that diet, I started putting on a little bit more weight, and my body composition started to kind of reset back to where it was, because I wasn't as strict on the dietary pattern that I was on. So when it comes down to the 1 meal a day, for some people it may not be sustainable for the long run based off of your goals, but it will help you reach your target a whole lot faster. So hopefully that helps when it comes down to 1 meal per day. What if you're working out and need to eat a certain diet? The main concern is making sure that the strategy aligns with what your goals are. So if you're working out and you need to eat a certain diet, it means your goal is to do something else. Your goal is not necessarily your blood pressure. So, just focus on what your goals are and find another strategy that aligns with you. Because again, this isn't the only way to correct your blood pressure issue. This is just one of multiple strategies that are available. So, just finding what works for you and just tapping into it and making sure that you move in the right direction is great. You should save this live video. Yeah, definitely. I'll make sure I save the live video for anyone that needs to double back and see it. Make sure you like the video, share the video. That just kind of keeps, pushing the video out in the algorithm, helping me reach new people, and just spreading the information to help people just understand that they have options when it comes down to correcting their blood pressure. Is oats raw? Yeah, oats can be raw. Overnight oats and raw oats and things like that. That can be something that can be consumed raw. The main thing is it all depends on what your goals are as well. If you're trying to drop a couple pounds, oats won't let you do that. Oats will keep some weight on you. So just be mindful of what your goals are moving forward if you're consuming oats in the raw form. But they are something that can definitely be used when it comes down to getting to the root cause. Do you recommend this for pregnant women with preeclampsia? Yes, it's very beneficial because again, it's not restrictive. It's not limiting you from anything. It's not complicating anything. This is something that's giving your body the building blocks that it needs. All of these are essentials. It's nothing added. It's nothing new. It's not deviating from the norm. One thing that you shouldn't do as an individual that may be pregnant is deviate from what you've been doing consistently. You shouldn't be changing what your patterns, because that's going to bring about a world of detox symptoms and everything else from it. But going through the cycle, it just only gives you more of those building blocks that are essential to help you through this whole process. So it's not going to be a negative to harm you in any type of way. How can I talk to you offline? I have some questions for you. You can send me. You can hit my inbox. Whatever the thing is, somewhere down here. You can just hit me in the inbox. It does get flooded sometime, and that way you can just schedule a consultation. My link is also there. You could just go through there. I have a text support there. You could go through text support and reach out. That way you can connect and get more details and more information about just getting better control of these issues. How do you feel about taking magnesium and potassium supplements to help with lowering blood pressure? I think that was probably something that let me slow it down. Taking magnesium and potassium supplements for your blood pressure, I don't necessarily recommend it. And reason being because it's not sustainable for the long term. This doesn't mean that it don't work. I'm not going to say that it don't work because there's a lot of science that says it does. But this science relates to specific individuals. Those that are having severe blood pressure problems. Those with the 145, 150, 180s. Those are the ones that benefit the most from the supplement because they ain't got nothing going on internally when it comes to balance. So those individuals that are dealing with that hypertension crisis, they benefit the most from taking supplements. Now when it comes down to just the average individual dealing with blood pressure issues that are relying on supplements, you're doing your body a disservice because you're limiting it from all of the other essentials. And think about it this way. Let's say you are deficient in potassium and you go to the doctor, you get a blood test, it shows, hey, your potassium is low, and the doctor say, all right, take this potassium pill and boom, let's solve the problem. Most individuals that are deficient in potassium are also deficient in magnesium. And one thing about it is you can take all the potassium that you want. If the magnesium isn't there, your body's not going to utilize the potassium efficiently to help you correct the blood pressure issue. So we have to understand when you isolate a mineral, you isolate a nutrient, there's no way to determine how much of that particular nutrient your body needs at any given time. So you basically just throwing up shots, hoping that something hits. And you might see a little relief and see the pressure come down a little bit. You might. But how long can your body continue to sustain that? So some people say, well, I'm going to take a magnesium and a potassium supplement to help bring the balance out. But what are you really doing for your overall health besides packing in all of these synthetic chemicals that your body is likely going to just piss out because it doesn't need these particular things at that given moment? Throughout the day, your body changes. It needs different levels of vitamins and minerals and enzymes to do different processes. And the best way to optimize this process is by, hey, baby, everything's good?
Yeah,
awesome.
I got some stuff.
What you got? Well, I'll tell you later once I get off there. Yeah. So the best way to optimize this process is by eating those whole foods that are naturally packed with the potassium and the magnesium and all the other nutrients. And that way it gives your body everything at once to properly assimilate it because, and this is the biggest thing. This is the biggest thing. When it comes down to the natural versions of potassium and magnesium, there are other enzymes that are in there, inside of these foods, that regulates the functions of magnesium in the body and potassium in the body. So when you isolate the mineral, you don't get those other enzymes that helps the magnesium go to where it needs to be or have the reaction that it needs to have. Because we all know that there's many different types of magnesium. I mean, you wonder, well, we got magnesium glycinate, magnesium citrate, magnesium this, magnesium that. It's a lot of different magnesiums. And one of the biggest questions people ask is, what type of magnesium should I be taking? And the simple answer is, it's only one type of magnesium. Magnesium is magnesium. Now, how your body distributes it and utilizes it is different because now magnesium goes to different areas of the body and attached to other enzymes and is utilized differently, and it becomes a magnesium glycinate or magnesium, whatever other type of magnesium. And this is how your body utilizes it. So understanding that the best form of magnesium to take or to consume rather is magnesium found in the whole foods. It's found inside of your Swiss chard, your leafy greens, your nuts and seeds, your pumpkin seeds, your almonds, your cashews. All of those whole foods have enough potassium, magnesium, the antioxidants, and all those essentials that you need in order to continue to improve your overall health and regulate your blood pressure. So when it comes down to supplements, potassium and magnesium, it's a double-edged sword. Some people get some benefits from it, some people don't. The one thing I can tell you for sure is that it's not a long-term sustainable thing. Eventually your body's going to bubble up and get used to the stimulation and the supplements that you're giving it, and they're no longer going to be as effective as they once were, and then eventually they're going to be ineffective, and now your blood pressure is going to continue to rise up, and you're going to be stuck with the same issue of trying to figure out how to control your blood pressure. So don't rely on those supplements. If they're helping you right now, keep taking them, but make sure you're making the necessary changes for the long term. That's what it's all about. It's a long-term game. Taking a supplement is a 100-yard dash, a quick sprint to the finish line. Your life is a lot longer than a sprint to the finish line. You want to make sure that you're doing the whole 400. That way you just completing the cycle and you're creating those healthy habits and sustainability. That's what lifestyle changes are all about. To be able to sustain those things that you're doing without having to spend $40 here, $40 there every other month, because that puts you in that pharmaceutical loophole that many people get stuck in. What types of nuts and seeds? My favorite, pumpkin seeds, almonds, or walnuts are really good, even though they taste all dried out and stuff. They're good for you. Sunflower seeds are good, and I love cashews, but they will put some weight on you. But those are some of my favorite ones that are there. They all have good nutrient levels, and the main thing is when it comes down to nuts and seeds, just be mindful of how much you're actually consuming. A cup or two is going to be the max per day. Just be real mindful, because if you're trying to lose some weight and you're eating a bunch of nuts and seeds, it will keep you fat. Just know that nuts will make you fat. And if you're dealing with any heart conditions, just be mindful of the nuts as well, because nuts have a high level of fat in them as well. And you should be just trying to make sure your total fat is low as also. So, when it comes to nuts and seeds, those are important. Those are my favorite, rather. Let's see. What type of blood pressure cuff do you recommend? Blood pressure cuff, arm cuffs are going to be the best. When it comes down to the brand doesn't necessarily matter. As long as it's an AHA certified brand, it works out pretty good. It's been calibrated and all those things. The arm cuff is the best. The wrist cuff comes behind it, mainly because it's further away from the extremities, so it gives you a lower number by default. But they're all pretty accurate. So they're different cuffs for everyone. If you got a bigger arm, make sure you're using the right size cuff. Get on Amazon, order you a bigger cuff that's going to fit around your arm. That way you're not getting those false readings, because it will show up lower than it should be sometimes. So understanding the right type of cuffs is going to be the best. The digital monitors work out good. Those are all cool things. So that's going to help you on your journey to just getting better control of the problem. If you got any other questions, feel free to drop them in the chat. And definitely, I appreciate you guys for tuning in. And make sure you just like the video, share the video, and just keep supporting me through this process. And I keep just showing up and giving you guys good tactics and strategies to help you through this process. Chia pudding, is that okay? Yeah, chia seeds are very high in those essential nutrients as well. And when you make a chia pudding, that just gives you a nice compacted version of it also. So that's another item that the kids love. I love to have it. When you sweeten it, just be mindful how much you sweeten it. I use a little tablespoon of maple syrup that adds a little sweetness to it, and it just really takes it a long way. That's an item that's going to be really, really great. I also got a chia pudding recipe inside of my high blood pressure cookbook, and those are is actually a really dope recipe I've been making for the last couple of years. How about fresh juice? Yeah, fresh juices, it can be right into the same raw until fall strategy. Add those fresh juices in the mix of it, and it's going to give you an influx of those essential vitamins and minerals that's going to help you through this problem. I don't get to eat until noon every day, so can I do 4 p.m. or 12 p.m. to 4 p.m.? Yeah, The main thing is, so it seems like you're fasting during that time frame. So what happens is just make sure you're optimizing your fast. Mainly, like, make sure you're not doing anything that's breaking your fast. So let's say if you're nibbling on stuff throughout the day, maybe drinking stuff throughout the way, that has the potential to break your fast. So if you're not eating anything till 12 o'clock, that's great. That's going to help you through this process. And from 12 to 4, 3 to 5 servings of fresh fruits and 1 large salad, that's going to really just allow you to get that influx of nutrients through that process and just really help with your blood pressure overall. So yeah, a 12 to 4 can definitely fit into that routine. Just make sure that you're maximizing it through that window. How many times a week should we eat red meats? If you're dealing with blood pressure issues, I'm gonna tell you none. Reason being because you just want to be mindful of the saturated fats and everything else that are there, because that's contributing to the problem. So it all depends on what your goals are. If your goals are to get off of pharmaceutical medication and correct your blood pressure issues, you probably want to step away from it for an indefinite period of time to understanding what's contributing to the problem. That's going to be the main thing, because most people don't focus on removing things to see what the problem is. And one tactic that I use is just understanding subtraction, taking things out of the diet. You have to be willing to take things out and see how your body responds. And from a lot of the studies that I've looked at and dove into, they always talk about just removing certain things. And when you look at things like the DASH diet, which is a classic high blood pressure diet, the DASH diet is a plant-forward diet. It removes those problematic foods, those saturated fats, those red meats, and those things. It drastically reduces them to like 1 or 2 servings per week. And that's going to help you optimize your body's elimination efforts. And that's what it's all about. When it comes to high blood pressure, you're just dealing with an imbalance and a toxic body to a certain degree. And we have to be willing to remove the things that are causing the problem to open the door for elimination to occur and let the body restore its balance. So, just looking to stepping away for an indefinite period of time, that'll give you a whole lot of understanding. And then you'll know yourself how to move forward. Women often need extra iron. What food should be part of the raw until 4 diet to help with that? Your leafy greens. Make sure you're getting your leafy greens in. When you build your salad, let's say you build a salad during this process, you want to have 1 part kale, 1 part spinach, 1 part beet greens, and let's say 1 part arugula. That's 4 things, or even Swiss chard. That's 5 different options that you have there. A half a cup of each. Put it inside of the bowl, gently massage it. That's going to help you when it comes down to iron, potassium, magnesium, antioxidants, all those essentials. And that's going to give you all those added nutrients that's going to help with any worries that you may be having about that particular thing. So, those are different options that you have. And again, it's not limiting. This is a strategy that allows for you to really just maximize your nutritional storages by focus on these raw foods. Hi, just tuning in. How do I lower the bottom number? That's a great question, but that's going to be a longer, drawn-out conversation. I do appreciate you for asking that. But what I do have planned out, and this is for everybody here, what I do have planned out in the coming days, I want to say tomorrow and the next couple of days, I'm going to be focusing on helping you guys understand the different numbers, the systolic, the diastolic, and the pulse. I'm going to break those down into 3 different videos. The first video, we're going to be talking about the top number, systolic. The second one, talk about the diastolic, and the third, the pulse. One thing about this journey, when it comes down to correcting blood pressure issues, it's important that you understand the numbers, what they reflect. You have to understand what your numbers reflect, because if you just say, oh, my top number is high, my bottom number is high, my pulse is high, but you don't know what they mean inside of the body internally, it kind of still leaves you blind to what the blood pressure problem is. And in my high blood pressure cookbook and breakdown, we talk about understanding what the root cause of the problem is, what these numbers actually mean. So in these videos, I'm going to break down in more detail the systolic blood pressure, the diastolic, understanding what it's a reflection of. Like, for instance, the systolic is this is the number that directly speaks to your cardiovascular risk factors, the heart attacks, the strokes, all the other complications. We're going to be diving deeper into those. That way you get a better understanding of these numbers, and this will allow for you to see what your risk factors are or what's contributing to the problem, and this will allow you to guide yourself through these blood pressure challenges. So I would love to answer your bottom number question here, but it's definitely a little bit more drawn out, and I don't want to shortchange you on answering that question and not giving you the best value that I have available. So for the next 3 days, systolic, diastolic, and pulse, I'm going to have some videos about those. Just double back in. I'll be live around 4 or 5 o'clock, and you'll be able to get those answers to that type of question. So I'll make sure you get that. And what else? I'm going to take a couple more questions, and then we'll go from there. Where's the cookbook sold? You get the cookbook from my bio. You just click on my name. I think it might be right here, or it might be right there. Just click on my name, go to my profile. You'll see my link. The cookbook is available there, as well as the blood pressure breakdown. You can get it from there, or you get it from Amazon. You know, Amazon has it as well there. Those are options that you can pick up, both of them. And that way you can get started on this journey of getting to the root cause of your blood pressure issues. Understanding the different tactics and strategies that's going to allow for you to hit that reset button on your health and get control of your blood pressure. And that's what it's all really about. So with that being said, I do appreciate you guys for tuning in. Let's see, I'll take one more question. Here we go. I want to stop taking meds. I'm tired of it. Trust me. I think everybody on this line. I'm gonna ask this question. If you take one med, put 1 in the chat. If you're taking multiple meds, put a 2 in the chat. If you're taking one, matter of fact, if you're taking multiple medications, just put a 2 inside of the chat. I'm gonna give you some information about this real quick. Now listen, understand this. I'm gonna drop this on you guys before we go. Understand this. When it comes to high blood pressure medication, I'll talk about this often. Blood pressure medications do not get to the root cause of the problem. They play their role. They're very important in health. I'm not going to sit here and say that blood pressure medications are trash and they don't work. They play their role, and they have a position. But when it comes to getting off of medication, this is all about you. This is about you, and for 90% of people, this is all psychological. Essential high blood pressure is a psychological thing. We have to understand how to do better. And yes, it can be hard, but we have to understand how to do better, how to get better. And this is where understanding the right tactics and strategies and aligning yourself with health promoting activities is what's going to change these things. Many people take blood pressure medication and they feel the side effects, whether it's erectile dysfunction, fatigue, dizziness, headaches. They have the side effects, and this is the medication. The medication tells you it's going to hurt you before you even take it. It tells you that on the side of the bottle. It says side effect warning. It can cause X, Y, and Z. It tells you that. So understanding that these medications, they're not here to get you better. They're here to stabilize you. And when it comes down to getting off the medications, you must be willing to do the work. Simple as that. It's no trick. You can't take a pill or supplement to fix this problem. You might lower your numbers. You're not going to fix it. But doing the work and gradually getting better is going to be the way to do it. There's no way around this. You must really sit down and talk to yourself and say, enough is enough. I'm done with feeling this way. I'm done with these pills. I'm done with all the complications that's coming with the blood pressure issues, and start focusing on how to improve your health. And when I say that it's a psychological problem, blood pressure issues are a psychological problem, this is because we all know we need to do better. Everybody with high blood pressure issues know what they know where they're coming up short at. They know what their shortcomings are. We know we're not sleeping better. We know we're not getting enough sleep. We know we're not eating healthy enough. We know that we're stressed out at work and at home. We know that we're not getting enough exercise. We know these things. This is psychological. We know this. Yet, we still haven't made the necessary adjustments to change because we're caught up in our lives, we're caught up in everything else, but we're not taking care of ourselves. So understanding that it starts here in your mindset, and having the thought of, I don't want to be on blood pressure medications no more, that's the initial thought. You're having the thought. This is the beginning of the mindset shift. You're having the initial thought of, I want change. Now, in order to further that thought, you must continue to educate yourself about the problem. You can't move forward with just, okay, yeah, I don't want to do this. Educate yourself about the problem and understand what high blood pressure is when it comes down to the end game. Right now, dealing with high blood pressure, most of us are feeling fine. We just got a high number. We don't feel bad. We don't might take the medication and give us some side effects, but it ain't necessarily killing us. But unfortunately, most people wait until it becomes a bigger problem to really try to focus on it. So if your mindset now is that I don't want to be on blood pressure medications, your focus should start to shift on what can you do to become a better person, what can you do to be the type of person that doesn't need medication. Once you start thinking in the mindset of your future self, this is going to allow for you to become the type of person that doesn't rely on medication. What does your future self habits look like that allows for you to be the type of person that don't need medication? Does your future self get up and walk every day for 3 hours? Walk 3 miles per day? Does your future self eat a raw until 4 diet every day to help with their blood pressure? What does your future self do to get in alignment to correct these blood pressure issues? And starting in this moment, if your goal is to get off of these pills, think about what your future self looks like getting off of this medication. This is the mindset of future self. Once you start understanding what these patterns and these habits look like, start applying them. And unfortunately, many of us, we get stuck in the day-to-day. Just don't think about the day-to-day, because working on the day-to-day is going to keep you here. But when you start working towards the future self, how you're going to look or how you're going to be in the next 6 months, and start doing those things that's going to help you get there, this is where you're going to start to see the change. So understanding that your mindset is everything when it comes down to these lifestyle conditions like high blood pressure, type 2 diabetes, and things like that. Once you shift your mindset and have that understanding of, I don't want to be on blood pressure medications anymore, now it's all about just being firm in your why and continuing to move in the right direction. So with that being said, I do appreciate you guys for tuning in. Peace and blessings, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow, and we'll be breaking down that systolic blood pressure and moving into the diastolic and the pulse, and give you guys a better understanding of what you can do to get to the root cause of your blood pressure issues. So blessings, everybody. I'll see y'all next time.